Yeah, I mean, all I have to say is, I just love our guys. And I'm always thrilled when I'm able to watch them play and with the kind of effort that they gave tonight, the kind of togetherness that they exhibited tonight. So, needless to say, I'm very happy. Feel very blessed to coach this particular group because, man, they're just really special, great guys.
Questions for the student athletes?
Johnny, the number that jumps off the stat sheet is the rebounding disparity. You guys must be pretty pleased with 55 to 25. You talk about how important that was, and you also had a 17-2 edge in second chance points.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big talking point that our coaches emphasize every game, and it's kind of something that we take pride in. With the size that we have in the team, it's something that we really try to focus on, getting those offensive rebounds and putting ourselves in those positions to get extra points and extra opportunities. And tonight we did a pretty good job of it, as you can see. So, yeah.
Adama, on Monday you'll be playing your old pals from St. Mary's, and they beat you twice, but the second time you out-rebounded them. How important will it be to do that again and hold your own against the nation's #1 rebounding team?
Like you said, he's the nation #1 rebounding team, so it's really a focus. And it was even on the last game, and that's really something that we gotta keep going on this. We've been getting better each game this year at rebounding, and it's gonna be a big point of emphasis for the Monday game.
Johnny, they sort of forced a crazy pace. They fouled you guys a lot and forced a number of turnovers. What allowed you to sort of overcome all that and just kind of get control of the game and hold on to it?
Yeah, I think we just did a good job in the second half of running our press break. I think the first half we got sped up a little bit, and we made the adjustments in the second half. And I think just running that and being a little bit smarter and a little bit stronger with the ball helped us kind of fight back on that disparity.
This level for facing St. Mary's for the third time.
It's at an all-time high. I mean, I believe in everything that we've been working towards. I feel like we're in a great position right now, and I know we're all confident about playing in the game. We're excited.
Johnny, you mentioned the run that got the front line going, especially on the boards. What type of tone did Cameron Tongue set, especially when he came into the game after those first few contested minutes in the first half?
Yeah, I mean, he's like a spark plug out there. We go through it every day in practice against him, and it's not the most fun. So it's always nice when he gets to go out against a different team and do it. But I mean, there's so many, especially it doesn't really show on the stat sheet the amount of fouls that he drew on the offensive glass was huge. And put us into the bonus in the first half, which allowed us to get that lead and climb back into the game. So, he's tremendous at the offensive rebounding.
And then Adama, in the first matchup, San Diego did a good job of cutting off your guys' dribble penetration and your offense as a whole. What did you guys figure out over these last two matchups that worked so well, especially tonight?
I think that we kind of moved the ball a lot. We should open up driving lanes. We had a lot of penetration tonight, which is a big point against this team. And that's how we got to draw a lot of foul on them. We put foul pressure on them, and we got to share the ball and drive the ball.
Any other questions for the guys? You guys are big to go.
Thank you.
Hey, Herb, congratulations. Thank you. Can you talk a little bit about the rebounding? Because it seems like that's something you've gotten better and better at this year.
Yeah, we have as a team, and we've done it, as a group. We have a commitment from everybody to try to help. We're a gang rebounding team, and certainly did a good job in that area tonight.
How important will that be on Monday against St. Mary's?
Yeah, St. Mary's is not only, the #1 rebounding team in the country, but they're in the conversation among the toughest teams in the country. And, even though they beat us twice, we've had 2 hard-fought games against them. And, they really took it to us the first game. We were never in the game. The second game, they jumped out on us and had a big lead. And we were able to get back into it somewhat in the second half. But they're one of the better teams in the country. And, for them, I think it starts with defense and rebounding. They're hard to score against. And they rebound the ball. And offensively, they don't beat themselves. They're very patient. They do a tremendous job of reading the defense and taking what is available.
Fair to say that game is likely to look a little bit different than tonight did in terms of.
Well, one thing about college basketball, every game has its own story. It really does. And that's what makes it so exciting, right? That's why we have the moniker March Madness. And it actually happens in November, just not as many people are paying attention. There's November Madness too, I assure you. And each and every day of college basketball delivers every day, with unexpected results, with thrilling endings. It's an amazing sport. And, you can't take too much away from what happens today for tomorrow, because every game is its own novel.
Coach, like you mentioned, two hard games against St. Mary's prior to the first one, like you mentioned, just didn't have it. And the second game got down 25 before making that big run with a 5-out lineup. Is that something that you explore for this type of matchup, or is this something you work with your bread and butter of being a tall team, a physical team?
Probably the thing I need to do first is just make sure our guys know what time the game starts. Because we showed up late both times we played them.
And then 20 turnovers tonight, obviously not ideal, not what you want. What more do you need to see from your guards, especially against a tough defensive team like St. Mary's?
It was all of us. To turn the ball over, you have to be in sync, you have to be in harmony, and you have to give San Diego credit. They were extremely aggressive, and they pressed us, and even when we got rebounds, they swarmed us and got their hands on balls. And needless to say, 20 turnovers is far too many, even in a high possession game like tonight was.
Hi, I'm Sam. I do see you with Thomas. I was curious on the turnover note, on inbounding. I felt like in the last couple of games, you guys have struggled with that at times. And I was curious your thoughts on maybe who you're having inbound and if you talked about different strategies to kind of go.
Are you talking about baseline or press?
I would say mostly press, but yeah, from your own baseline and getting it across.
So when they're pressing us inbounding the ball,
Right.
yeah, I thought for the most part tonight we did a pretty good job attacking the press, and it led to some easy baskets down the other end. Can we be better? Absolutely. But, you got to give San Diego credit. Our last game against San Francisco, you got to give them credit. Both teams extremely active in the backcourt. We had the lead, and, they were selling out to go for the ball. And but to your point, Sam, there's no question that's something we've tried to address and have gotten better at, and still yet can be better than we were.
And then just one more. On the 0 for streaks, I found like today you did a good job not making those extended 0 for 7, 0 for 8. When in other games, I felt like you guys would go 0 for 10, 0 for 11, and maybe force some shots at times. And I was curious if you were addressing that, and then if you made any changes to.
Yeah. Well, there's a fine balance between having your guys play with freedom and attack and have fun. And we tilt the seesaw on that side. Okay, so every once in a while, somebody may take a shot you'd rather them not take. But rather than make an issue of it, unless it becomes a problem or a habit, I want our guys playing. We have a very up-tempo, fast-paced system. We have a fun system. Guys enjoy playing. And I don't want to have to micromanage their shot selection. Over the course of a game, the best players are probably going to take a few that you'd rather not. But you can't look at those shots in isolation. Okay? Because I think sometimes if we try to micromanage shot selection, then guys become hesitant, right? They're looking over at the bench, And that's no way to play. So we trust them. Now, if it becomes an issue, where a particular player or our team is settling and not playing the right way, by all means, we'll address it.
Any final questions for Coach Sendek? Thanks, Coach.